Hey guys, I'm sending you this video because, looking at the syllabus, and if you haven't done that, you should. Looking at the syllabus, looking at what we have left to do, let's all be real honest, There's no reason for us to come in on the 26th. There's just not. Now that said, before I get into some of you are turning off right now. Like, don't do that, hang on. Obviously, if you still have questions, concerns, you want to get in touch with me, God forbid if you for some reason want to meet. And I just say that because 2021, it's always weird to me when somebody wants to meet with me. I'm like, why would we do that? But if that's what you want, if that's what you feel like you need, hit me up. We can figure it out. I live like a 5-minute walk from school. So I can come to you, okay? I just want to put that out there. But as a class, there's essentially what we would do on the 26th if we met. I would do what I'm about to do with this video. I would talk at you for a couple minutes, and then I would leave and plead with you to do the student evals, which I'm going to talk about in a second. That would be it. And I think a lot of you would justifiably be kind of upset if you came in and that's the only reason we came in. So yeah, we won't. Now, getting into some of the business of the class, what we have left going on, your final projects are due as told by the syllabus and coursed in, I believe. Your final projects are due to coursed in by 5 p.m. The 28th of April. So you still have a little bit of time. If you haven't quite figured out what you want to do, or you haven't kind of kicked that stuff into gear, now is absolutely the time to do it. You have enough time to get that stuff rolling, but it's, in my experience, not the sort of thing you want to put off, And again, it's the last thing you have to do for this class. So as soon as you do it, you get it turned in, it all looks good, you're done. Yes, that's one class, just done, right? That'd be kind of nice. I would always feel like this huge sigh of relief wash over me every time I finish a class at the end of a semester. So there's that. The other thing, I mentioned student evals. It's my understanding, I think these are on coursed in. I know we talked about this in class, but that stuff never comes to me like it comes to you. So I'm kind of going off of what I've been told, which is just a strange place to be. But I believe you access it through coursed in. I know you've gotten emails about it. I also know most of the time you guys don't really check your email, so that's fun. But yeah, you have student evals for all your classes, not just this one. I believe you access them through coursed in. They're not terribly involved. Half of it is just a couple bubbles. What did you think of this aspect of the class? What did you, blah, 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 blah. And then there's a short answer section after that if you want to do it. All of it is optional. All of it is appreciated, actually. Not just by the people who write the checks, but honestly by your teachers. The way I like to describe it, I put it this way. Most students, in my experience, have a pretty good experience in the class. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. I'm trying to keep this video as short as I can, but I'll talk about that at the end. But there's always a couple people, for all kinds of reasons, who don't feel like they have a great experience, and they want you to know about it on the evals. And that's fine. That's perfectly valid for them to feel the way that they feel. It's all good. But what happens, again, in any class, is if you only have, say, 5 or 6 people do the eval, and say you don't do the eval, but you did actually enjoy the class, what tends to happen is those 1 or 2 people who had a fucking problem are absolutely going to take the eval, right? And then you and maybe a buddy you guys both like, I really like that class, and you just never do the eval. Well, it's going to get skewed. The numbers and all that stuff are going to get skewed according to the 1 or 2 people who feel like they didn't have a great time, when you and your buddy or whomever else maybe did. So it doesn't accurately represent the experience in the class, and that causes all kinds of issues. And it's just, I didn't know this side of it until I was on this side of it. But I was always a student. I would take the evals, but I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time on them. I definitely never answered any of the short answer stuff. I didn't feel like it mattered. But real talk, especially thinking of some of the worst stuff I've seen. The worst comment I ever got on an eval, still to this day, is when I was teaching at Alabama. A student insulted my wife. Yeah. So here again, I say it for my class, but for all classes that you might be in, especially if you enjoy them, or if you have anything to add, like constructively, you know, you could still enjoy a class and think it like could use this, or like, oh, what do I change this next time? Anything like that, right? That stuff is actually valuable. And again, it helps to outweigh some of the, I don't know how else to put it, some of the hate that you get, for all kinds of reasons. So I like to put that PSA out there. All right, last part of the video. I'm gonna do my best to keep it under 10 minutes. Here we go. Closing remarks on the class itself. To me, I teach every class for the first reason I'm gonna give you, and then I'm gonna give you a specific thing about our class. All my classes, no matter what they are, I teach creative writing, I teach first year writing, like, you know, comp classes, I teach this class, I teach all kinds of classes. I always approach them with the main idea that I want you leaving sort of with two thoughts in your head. One, that you either thought or engaged with or encountered something that you would not have encountered had you not been in the class. And there's all kinds of ways to take that, but one of the easiest is, you know, every time we were going to watch a new movie in class, I would ask you guys, hey, who's seen this? And most of you, most of the time, hadn't seen these movies. And I think, at least according to the discussions we had, that most of you, most of the time, appreciated having seen those movies now, right? That's really cool to me. Like that's honestly like exciting as a teacher to be like, man, because again, I remember being in classes like that. And I remember coming out of some of those classes and going, that was so fucking cool. Like, that is what college is supposed to be. Yeah, I know jobs, blah, 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 that's fine. But college is supposed to be, let's actually learn some shit. Let's see something really cool that for no reason would you have encountered it in your own life the way your life goes, right? You're going to encounter all kinds of cool stuff. Absolutely. But I think a big part of my job is, here's the thing that you probably would not have seen, definitely wouldn't have talked about in the way that we talked about, right? Let's do that. And let's give you that experience, and more importantly, get those wheels turning up here, right? Like, so you can hopefully take that with you wherever you go after this. And I hope that we accomplish that. That's how I approach all my classes. Secondly, and I kind of gave myself a segue there, you see it, I hope, in the final project. Like when I ask you to take some of the discussions, the thoughts that we've bandied about in class, as a class, when I ask you to take those and apply them to a movie you like for whatever reason, and think about it along the same lines, what I'm really asking you to do is take the thoughts we've had in class, and a lot of you have really cool thoughts, and we've kicked them around, and do your best to apply them on your own. Outside of class, you get very little help. Some of you have come to me with thoughts, and we've discussed, I mean, maybe a little bit of help, but for the most part, I want to see you apply not even knowledge, but like intellectual abilities now, like mechanisms. Again, it's my sincere hope that the other thing I give you in a class like this is abilities. And they get better with practice, by the way. Like if you keep up thinking about things, questioning things like, who's this character? Who's he meant to represent? Like, why does he do that? If you engage with art, films, books, whatever, music, if you engage with that stuff, first on a level of entertainment, sure, but then the second step can be actually thinking about it. Opens all kinds of doors for you intellectually. And yeah, man, I'm a firm believer in the fact that's just more fulfilling of a life. I've seen all you guys this semester have all kinds of realizations, whether it's in your papers or again, sometimes in class, I feel like I see like almost a light bulb go off when one of you raise your hand, you say something like, that's the kind of thing I hope you can take with you. Like, and again, it's harder sometimes than others. Light bulbs don't always go off. That's not how life is, okay? But if you continue with that kind of thinking, that kind of questioning, and just keeping those gears turning, you'd be pretty surprised at the kind of thoughts you can have, the realizations you can have. And that's pretty cool. Again, to me, and the video is almost over, I promise, but to me, I want you not taking things for granted. I want you questioning everything. Sometimes you arrive back at what you thought before, but now you're more sincere in it because you've thought it through. Other times, you might wildly change your mind about a thing. Like, that's cool too. But that's what I'm shooting for in a class like this. We only got to watch 3 movies. I talked to you guys before about how hard a decision that was for me. I'm still not totally sold on the 3 movies we watched, but you do the best that you can. But yeah, in this class and hopefully in your other classes, if nothing else, I hope that you're able to take that with you. The idea that you learn some things, and that's absolutely awesome. But more importantly, you learn how to learn some things. You learn how to examine just everything around you. Nothing around you is as it is because it's supposed to be. It's that way because it was made. And if you can come to appreciate that and think about it along those lines, you can figure anything out. All right, that's all I got. Hope everyone's doing well. Again, hit me up. Some of you have, some of you never have, which is fine. I never hit my professors up either. But yeah, don't forget about the project. That's the last thing we got. If anybody wants to talk to me, I don't know, about anything. I'm in my son's room, by the way. I'm sure some of you have noticed like the craziness behind me. He's an insane person. So anyway, later guys. Thank you.